So, all right, we are coming up with a few important exercises and queries related with a Windows function. Like these are the basic Windows function we will be covering up. Uh, for example, we will be covering up with Windows function, all the functions which are like over. Okay. So what I am doing is this is my SQL server. This is my SQL server SSMS. You can all easily install Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio, connect with as in Windows authentication, and after that there is a very simple and basic thing which through which we can pull the uh, already existing databases from authentic Microsoft site. So here I will be like just I'm just erasing this query, and I'm taking you towards this. This is an this is a link through which we will be able to get the data. Here is a link. Is this okay? Here is a link. Is this through this link we will able to get the databases which are like recent databases is also there for practices, and this are the link. Okay, and I will be pasting it down in a description also. It will be a easier such that we can easily fetch down the database. All right, coming back to the work. So this is the AdventureWorks 2020.bak. Is an backup. This is the backup file of SQL Server database, which is reciting it here. AdventureWorks sample databases. And what we are going to do, we have downloaded this by clicking it over here. It will simply go and the download will get started. So once I'm canceling it down because I have already downloaded it, and here is the uh, way of that how we can go and fetch and where does this basic uh, backup file of databases reside. So it comes here. It comes here. It comes here, and after that, once we are, it comes into the download part into the download wherever it is, like you know very well your system that where it goes. We will be coming in here, like we will be opening up our uh, operating C drive and like going into the program files, and after that we will go the Microsoft SQL Server if you are using Microsoft SQL Server, and after that my MS SQL 16 point MS SQL Server, this folder, then again MS SQL, then again backup. So look here, this file is residing AdventureWorks 2020.bak. Okay, and I am just closing this down this window. I'm minimizing this also, and I'm going just into my SMS. So again, I will be this is the portion through which you can download the file, and after that you can go there, go into the databases, the connected one, and after that right click on it, and after right clicking on it, you can go to the restore database. So this window or this prompt will appear over here, and through the restore database, go to the device and go to the that device and select backup devices. Backup media type is file, so we will be adding up. It is taking me to the backup. The it is like directed to the backup folder of MS SQL or SSMS. So I have already resided. I have already placed this AdventureWorks 2020.bak file, and I have already like fetched this AdventureWorks 2020 file over here. So I'm canceling it down for now, but you need to select this file and click OK. Okay. So once I'm clicking the OK, it is coming over here. Through this portion, like through now you can expand and see the tables it have various number of tables, and through these tables we will be able to practice our SQL queries. So I have this is the link, and I have taken down few queries. I have curated few queries. So this is the first query which we will be work upon. The first name and last name from person dot person table. I need to select. Okay, I need to select uh first name. I need to select the first name and the last name from person dot person. Okay. So once this query is like selected, these two columns will be executed. I'm executing this query. So both of the columns are appearing. Proceeding towards the next query, which we are want our in our like we are framing a complete set of data. This is just a start. We have around four exercises which are curated with the queries. So the second query is we need to get the job title from human resources dot employee table. Okay, so I like if I'm just aliasing is I need to say that this is a somewhat a extended version of SQL queries. So all the things are not described. So I am left join, and the table name is human resources and employee, human resources employee as E on E dot. So the the okay, let's see that what is the connection between the human resources dot employee and person dot person table. So firstly I will be opening up the persons dot person table. So this is the person table which currently um in our screen, or you can view into the result section of SSMS. So this is the SQL. This is the data. This is the table of persons, and in a next window, I'm opening up employee dot human resources dot employee. I'm looking for it, and here it is human resources dot employee. So I am like selecting top 100 through this method. It will be very easier to get me all the columns related with the table. So look, this is a human resource dot employee table, and this is the persons table. So look, business entity ID, I can easily identify that business entity ID is a unique number in this employee dot human resource dot employee table also, and into our business entity dot persons dot person table. I'm closing it down. So the conclusion of getting these things is like I will be taking up joining these two tables through business entity ID. Okay, so I am like joining up with the business entity ID, and the second thing is that I need to fetch down the job type. So the job type is from E, so I'm putting it down E, and after that it is giving me the job title, all the columns which are associated with employee table. So this these null values are there. So we need just to focus the like all the data, accumulative data which persist on all the tables. So instead of left join, I will be using inner join. So inner join, left join, the differences between all those tables could be easily like don't go anywhere. Just they could be easily find through all the playlists in our video section. So another table is like if I'm putting the inner join, what will be the differences? The differences could easily be assumed before executing, like we are assuming that these null values will get abolished from the job title, because what does inner join do? Inner join is giving us the values which are into the both the tables, like persons also and employee also, here in p table also and in e table also. So I'm executing, all the null values got eliminated and job titles are there. Again, let's just jump it down into the third problem, like third step. What is the third step? So in a third step, I need to fetch down rate from the human resource employee pay history table. Okay, so I need to fetch the rate column from human resource dot employee pay history. So this means that I need to join again with the inner join human resource dot employee pay history table, employee pay history table. So I'm like abbreviating it as EPH. So on EPH, again, the business entity ID is a primary key among these tables. So I am joining these tables with business entity ID. So while joining up the table, a primary key is a must through which you are only able to join or get data correctly. So you need to firstly uh, look for what is the primary key, and here I need to get the rate. So I'm putting EPH. In EPH, what do you want? I want rate. So this is the SQL query which is currently in our screen, and this is the result which is currently in our screen. And after that, I need to derive a column. Now derived column get into picture. I need to derive a column which is named as average rate, that returns the average of all values in the rate column in each row. So here comes the part of a Windows function. Okay, so what does it want? Want that it want that there must be two columns, which is which is a rate column currently, and there should be a another column which is a like average rate column. It want two things. So if rate is x, then what will be the average rate? Then the average rate will be x only, correct? The rate is y, then the average rate will be x plus y divided by 2. So basically these are the number of rows. So these are the number of rows. The 2 is the number of row, and x here also, there will be a uh, x plus y divided by 2. If this thing like if there are more than two rows, like n rows are there, and through this with the help of this there are n rows, and there is something like very random, this is like something like very random rate. So what does average rate become? So this is the nth row, so I'm giving it as a nth row, correct? So what will be the average rate? So the average rate is like average of rate. Okay, so what will be the average? So we will be like this, what is the summation of rate will be there, and divided by the number of rows. Number of rows means n. So this gives us the value, all the rows of against the x also there will be average, against the y also there is the average, against the all the rows, like and against the random row only there must be an average of all the values. This determines the average rate. Again, if we are using the windows function over here, then the average of rate is should be there. So this is the complete average of rate should be there. So this value should appear in a derived column. So this thing could be possible by the use of a Windows function. Again, I will be using it as a Windows function. So I'm like assigning average rate as a column name, which is equal to average of EPH dot rate. Okay, and with the help of a over clause, because I'm not using the aggregate function, I'm using average as in Windows function. So I need to use this over clause with the average. Correct. So I'm using this over clause with the average. So this is the average is now a Windows function. So I'm not using any partition by. This is the this is the plus one concept of Windows function, that partition by will be covered in upcoming days or upcoming lectures. But here I am avoiding the partition by. I'm just concentrated with the over by clause. That what does over clause do with the Windows function. So currently the over clause does, it is taking the complete values in a column, like in this case EPH rate values, the complete uh, values in a EPH rate will be averaged out, and as a complete data it will give the average among all the rows. If I run this query or execute this query, then you can see a constant value 17.7588 is among all the rows of the complete data set. Correct. So this is the Windows function. Now what is next? So all the tables can be inner joined. Uh, no need of applying any other criteria. Tables can be joined on business entity ID. I already spoke about it. Now, the enhancement of query started. Now you need to enhance your query from exercise 1 by adding a derived column called maximum rate. So add a I need to add a maximum rate column that returns all the largest of all values in the rate column. Correct. So same as this average, I need to return the maximum of all the rate and put it down among all the rows in a data. So I will be using, the concept is clear now. I will be using the EPS dot rate again. But the function is max. You need to get down with the functions and again over by clause. So here we get maximum rate among all the rows simply. Nothing fancy in this. So again, this is the first thing in exercise 3. Uh, Now that comes over the part of exercise 3. So enhance your query from exercise 2 by adding a derived column called difference from average rate that returns the result of the following calculation: an employee pay rate minus the average of all the values in a rate column. Correct. I need to derive another column, diff from average rate. Okay, so I'm adding up another column, that is what uh, diff from average rate, which is a calculation that returns the following calculation: and employees pay rate. So employees pay rate, just step by step, no need to huddle it down. Employee rate minus the average of this EPH dot rate with over clause. Okay. All right. So this, what does this gives? This gives the difference from this rate column with the average rate column. 125 is subtracted with 17.7588, so it gives me value 1077412. All right. So this is like accomplished. Now comes to the fourth part, the fourth enhancement of this exercise. Now again, it is saying that the requirement is I need percent of max rate. Correct. So enhance your query from exercise 3 by adding a derived column called percent of max rate. So I need to derive another column, that is percent percent of max rate, which is returning down, which is returns, which that returns the result as following calculation. The calculation is also given an employees pay rate, okay. So employees pay rate is there, okay. So employees pay rate divided by the maximum of all values in the rate, divided by the maximum of all values in the rate, EPH dot rate, okay, and over clause. Done. Done with this and to 100. So what does this give? This gives me the percent of max rate 125, max rate 125.5, which is 100% of max rate. Now rate is a 50% of max rate. So and now rate is a 34.47% of. Now rate is a 6.86, irrespective of whether it is above or whether it is down. So these types of calculation do help the data analysis or a business analyst while giving a report to the management, correct? If a management wants to see that what are the employees which are the number of employees which are among like among the max rates, correct? So I, if if I go with this, this will be a different case of switch end cases, that this problem can be solved with the switch end cases in SQL, that what are the number of employees which is like percent of max rate is 100%, correct? So this could be also implement that where with the where clause, that this I am getting this like what sort who are the employees, that what number of employees are there. So this give me the all the details, that what number, what who are the employees uh, which are like the greater than the 90%, correct? So if I want to see that what are the percentage, what are the number of employees which are greater than 90%. Okay, just give me a minute. uh, Greater than equal to 90. If I give this only, then what will be the result? Okay, got. So this thing like this is the another portion through which we will be like covering this select order by clause windows function. This is not an error. This will be executed with the help of a CTE. If we need to apply the where clauses among the windows function, then we will use the help of CTEs, correct? It's not good, it's not thing that this is not executing or something is wrong, but we with the help of the CTE only we can be apply the filtration part with windows function, correct? If anyone, if in an interview it is asked from you that give me the results which do have maximum values, so you cannot apply direct where clause under the windows function, correct? Keep in mind, you cannot, I'm again saying, you cannot apply the uh, direct comparison, you cannot apply where clause under the windows function, you cannot apply. Okay, so with the help of a Windows function, and where clause cannot be applied. It could be applied with the help of CTs only, correct? Common table expression. So with the help of common table expression, I will put it down as a different table, and with that different table, I will be again fetching it down as a so I will be put and I will be again fetching it out and apply the where clause. So that's all. This video is gonna be 25 minutes long. Okay, so don't get bored. Enjoy the full video and get yourself excited with Windows function in SQL.